In our first story, the Progressive People's Party have been demonstrating all morning against the growing level of corruption in the country. They would rather the Attorney General's department is separated from the Ministry of Justice.
Thanks so much for joining us live on TV3, and we are currently at the Hearts Park here at Accra Central, just close to the High Street. And what is happening here is the PPP, which is the People's Progressive Party, have been demonstrating this morning, a peaceful demonstration to register their displeasure about certain things happening in government. They have alleged that the NDC government is corrupt, and they have identified some corrupt officials within the NDC government. And the call is simple. They want those people to be taken out of government.
The president of this country lacks the tenacity to curb corruption. Why has the money that the courts have agreed that should be taken for the people of this country has not been taken? Why are they not taking the money for us? Do they have their hands embedded in it? Yes. Are they creating? Yes. Are they looting? Yes. Are they sharing?
Yes. NDC forward slogan be omoka say eyezu eyeza. Ba enyezu eyeza. Eye osu ene ye ohaw. Enti ye de to Ghana fo ni na anim say eye ahotwa ye komuni na no. Ye mbɔ mpa ye say nyame betie na asufrɛ. Na afeso ye hu some the new tariff increase aba. Na Ghanaians are not ready to pay. Enti ye na ye den. Ye ntua. Enti amemwo bɔne a ɔmudi bukroi. Enya ade a ye betumi atoso akoso. Enti no demonstration no. Enya na nko an ye atoaso akoso.
You are calling on President John Dramani Mahama to do something about corruption in his government. Statistically, what proof do you have to say that some officials of the NDC are corrupt?
No, you see, it's not just some officials of the NDC. This is not a political party platform. We want all Ghanaians to get up. And if you are NDC and you are corrupt, you should be dealt with. If you are MPP and you are corrupt, you must be dealt with. If you are PPP and you are corrupt, you must be dealt with. That is what we are saying. We are not targeting anybody. We know for a fact that there have been governments over the years. And we know that some people in the government, all these governments, have been cited for corruption. We want them dealt with.
And we have on phone the communications director of the Progressive People's Party, Mr. William Dorgo. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, we have. Fine, thank you, sir. We have seen these demonstrations time and again. The PPP, do you have any evidence?
That's what?
Of corruption, brewing in the country.
Oh, do you need any further evidence? The evidence is in the GIDA report. The evidence is in the Auditor General's report. The evidence is in the recommendations of the Public Accounts Committee. What else do we need?
All right. It is one thing talking about a problem and another finding solutions to it. How can you help in finding solutions to these problems that you have stated?
Well, it's not as if previous administrations and even the current have not said or are not willing to find solutions. In fact, at the last count, we have some 22 laws in this country, including the Public Procurement Act. Now, when that act was being promulgated, one of the things that was said about it was that, at long last, we will put in place a comprehensive legislation that will be able to deal with corruption once and for all. Today, what do we see? I mean, just check the sole commissioner judgment debt work and so on and so forth. You realize that even the almighty Procurement Act, for which we even created an institution to support, we call it the Public Procurement Authority. the sole sourcing going, all around. And it is only those who are managing the status quo, who are maintaining it and benefiting from it. So that we have attempted to find solutions, yes, but those solutions are not enough. And the problem is that it is because those laws are operating within a very difficult terrain. Difficult because of the kind of governance system that we operate, where the Attorney General, who is supposed to be the Chief Public Prosecutor, is also very much part and parcel of the executive. And in the public sector, it is the executive that holds sway. It is the one that controls virtually everything.
Mr. Doroko,
how can you expect the Attorney General, who is virtually appointed by the President, the executive, in this milieu, be able to go after public, corrupt public officials without fear of it? It's not possible.
So, Mr. Doroko,
these are ideas that have arrived. Let us take the bold steps. Okay, it may not be in the interest of those who are governing us today, but it's in the interest of the people of Ghana that we put in place. Let us separate the two and have an independent public prosecutor go after PPP people, NDC people, NPP people, UPP people, whoever people who are found to be corrupt.
So, Mr. Doroko, you want the Attorney General
per annum to subsidize, fuel and energy costs, so that our people too can, enjoy, a little bit of the national cake.
So, Mr. Doroko, you want the Attorney General's department separated from the Ministry of Justice?
Yes.
And you think that will help in dealing with corruption?
That is the only way we can realistically fight corruption.
How do you think we can make public officials more accountable?
Well, accountability, does not come by wishful thinking. If you have systems in place with checks and balances, you would be able to make public office holders, accountable. It has been said, for instance, that when you take office as a minister of state, you should declare your assets. Have you seen the way public officials have developed cold feet and are going slow at it? Because there's only one person who can deal with them, and it is the appointing authority. That's the president. And they are his friends. So how can he deal with them? If you had an independent public prosecutor who said that this is mandatory, this is required by law, they are going to recommend that you are sacked. Unfortunately, my sister, do you know that in the unlikely event that Parliament, is able to garner a 2/3 majority to censure a minister of state, the Constitution still says that the president must decide whether to sack that minister or not. What kind of system is this?
All right, Mr. Doroko.
This system was built around a military regime that we were forcing to hand over power for us to go democratic. We have operated it for 20 good years. Isn't the time for us to review it and have something else? So these ideas are not new. Let the powers that be listen to the people of Ghana, because that is what we want.
Mr. Doroko, so after this demonstration, what next? Are you going to submit papers to government?
There are going to be petitions. There are going to be other regional demonstrations. We are going to have symposia. We are going to have debates. We are going to establish anti-corruption clubs in all our tertiary institutions. And it is, if you like, a new uprising, and perhaps the last one that will put us on the right path, albeit in a very peaceful manner.
All right, Mr. Doroko, thank you for speaking to us.